Hello, and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Terry Morrow, and I'm here with Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast, we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Catherine and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics, because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. This week, we are wrapping up our 2 most recent reality show watches, Baby Ballroom Season 2 and The Voice, which wrapped up its...
I don't even know.
Well, they wrapped up their latest season with a whopping 5 hours of the top 5 and many, many other people. We talked last week about the 2-hour top 5 Sing for Their Lives that was on Monday, and then our podcast dropped on Tuesday morning. And then Tuesday evening, we were to find out who actually won. Now, since The Voice has been having results shows from 8 to 9 on Tuesdays, I settled in front of my TV at 8 o'clock and noticed that they were just retreading the stuff from the night before, playing it again. And I thought, well, I guess it's nice to give those performances another shot. And then they were replaying the judges' comments, and I'm like, I didn't even want those the first time. I got to get them twice. And it kept going, and Carson Daly kept saying something about we're finally going to go live. And I thought, well, maybe half the show will be live. And then finally it was like the last 5 minutes, and I'm like, when are we going to find out who won this thing? And then since I had been watching it on the DVR, it just stopped. And I thought, what? I watched all of this and now I'm not going to know? My husband comes in and says, oh, well, that was just the first hour. There's 2 more hours to tape separately. Right. I'm like, oh, okay. So it was a 3-hour Results-a-Palooza.
Yes.
With all the padding you could possibly desire.
I mean, more faffing about than we have ever experienced, because they had, I don't know, 8 different performances from other people completely not part of the show. I mean, they had all of the finalists do a duet with their coach, which most of those were pretty nice.
Those were nice, and a good use of the time. Right.
But then they had just... Oh, now we're going to hear from Dan and Shay. Oh, now Nellie, our friend Nellie is coming on.
I was happy to see Nellie.
But everybody else, like, come on.
I like Dan and Shay just fine, but they looked dorky out on that like fake Main Street set. It was like a veritable Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade of popular people you recognize lip syncing. It was just possibly not necessary.
Possibly. Definitely not necessary. And, like...
We could have wrapped this up between 8 and 9 people.
Pink was performing as like a hologram with... I already forgot who.
Keith Urban.
Sorry, Keith Urban.
And
I know
who knows where he was. Were any of those people actually in the same place as the judges, or was it all from remotely? It was very hard to tell.
It looked... I mean, they all seemed to be on that weird fake set, didn't they?
Some of... Yeah.
That was outside?
Some of them appeared to be on a stage, but I think probably Keith Urban and Nellie have access to their own flashing light stage if they wish. They don't have to come to Los Angeles or wherever it is The Voice is recorded.
True.
The super hygienic set buried deep in a mountain someplace. It was very faffy.
That was a lot.
I will allow all of the singing. That's fine. There's not enough singing. Singing is good. Let's have more singing. What I could have done without is all the heartfelt talking.
Yes.
I think we need to be specific. The voice applies to singing voice, not talking voice. This show would be 100% better with no talking. You can applaud, you can thumbs up, you can cry, you can smile. We don't need to have yet another round of, what would you like to say to your coach? What would you like to say to your finalist?
Which is different from what you said last week and the week before and the week before that.
It's asking a lot for people to think of that many platitudes.
Mm-hmm.
We don't need to hear it. They don't need to say it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure. Just sing. Dedicate your song to your coach and sing, please.
And don't have a 15-year-old have a romantic duet with his 50-year-old coach. Like, that was weird.
Yes.
Even if she was dressed up like a
fiancé is sitting across the room. Yeah. And then there were skits, which had severely diminishing returns.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some little conceit of the coaches and finalists before they sang, which singing, good. Pretending to decorate a fake plastic Christmas tree shape. Really?
Oh, boy.
You know, this is what happens when you give people 3 hours of network time to fill.
And also, so the 5 hours that you mentioned were the performances and then this stretched out finale.
Yes,
And then the next day they replayed their Voice holiday special that had already aired like 2 weeks before. So that actually brought it up to, I believe, 6 hours.
Oh,
for the
NBC,
week.
you really have nothing else to put on the air, do you?
Nothing.
I'm ready for the next season of The Voice to start on Monday. They're just like, it worked pretty well, so here's more.
We've got all these COVID test swabs. We're going to keep using them.
Oh, man. And then, eventually, inexorably, we get to the results, which, as is so common with these shows, they save for, like, you know, when time is running out.
Yes.
Although they still did manage to milk it a little bit by, this is the one thing that's good about Dancing with the Stars running out of time, is that they don't do and, you know, of all the winners, you were the lowest.
Yeah. That was
They
really...
just name the winner, and everybody then later on gets to figure out where they placed amongst the remaining. They did the 5th place, walk off the stage, 4th place, now you go, until they got down to 2, and then they named the winner, who was the kid.
The 15-year-old kid.
Who was adorable and sang very nicely. And I feel bad not being overjoyed that he won. He won! He's a kid! He won! It's exciting! Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy! But if I were one of the other 4 older people who have been scrapping to make a career in music for all of my life.
Yeah.
And then I lose to a 15-year-old. I think I'm just gonna, you know, I hope they had a sterile room for them to go in and get drunk afterwards, because come on.
Yeah, that was harsh. And, you know, just the way that they placed them 5, 4, 3 was a real bummer.
Yes.
Like,
it was.
You know, you've stretched out the suspense for 2 hours already, or 3 if you count the recap thing. Like, we don't need to stretch it out even further by bringing it from 5 to 2.
Yeah,
you know?
And that just is a bummer for the people who go out first.
Yeah.
And for their fans.
Yeah,
And,
of which we are, because John Holiday, our pick, was the first one to go, and that was just really sad.
I was pretty sure he's going to win. So
I thought he was going to win,
That
too.
was disappointing.
Really
and really, I think possibly, with maybe one exception, I'd have just flipped those results. That's about where I was thinking. But, oh well. I think they all get to have their singles released. And they all get a boost from that. And there's plenty of people having a successful career in music who were 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th on a show like this. So...
Yeah, and I think it was on Go Fug Yourself that they pointed out, you know, if you're the winner, you're locked into whatever contract they give
that's
you.
True.
Recording contract.
Yeah.
And if you're not the winner, then you've still gotten the exposure, but you may have more flexibility in terms of what you get out of it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll try to look at it that way.
I will be checking my country radio lists on Apple Music for Jim and Ian to show up, because they just seem right across the plate country voices to me, even though everybody was like, I've never heard anybody like you before. Well, I direct you to the Apple Country Music lists. But that means that they should, if they have some songwriting chops or some good taste in picking songs, they could turn up.
They
I can hear them.
They can call that jean jacket guy and see what he has for them.
Goodness. Or maybe not. Jim is like, I need a song I can sing on a big rock.
Yeah.
Whatever I did good when I was on the big rock.
Make sure it's appropriate for a big, giant moon rock.
Well, I had never watched The Voice before. I think the way we did it, which is to come in late once they were already whittling people down, is the way to do it.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have wanted to go through a whole bunch of auditions, because the coaches have a really, really cute shtick, but after a while... It has a shelf life, and I don't think I would have wanted another. I think I had just enough of it.
Yeah,
wouldn't have really wanted another 5 or 10 weeks or however long this thing went.
Right.
I felt like I just had just the right amount, and it was fun, and it was mostly enjoyable.
Yeah,
and you can't blame NBC for milking it as much as you may want to, because it's hard to produce things right now.
Yes, this is true.
So, speaking of saying goodbye, we also came to the end of the second season of Baby Ballroom, which I am sad to learn is the last existing season of Baby Ballroom.
That's
Whether
right.
there will be more, I do not know. Probably not.
I kind of doubt it.
But I, for some reason, thought there was a third season. And so was wondering what these tiny little dancers would be up to in another year. But we shall not know unless we go on Instagram and look them up and see how much they have grown up and how much makeup Emily now wears. Oh my goodness. Honey. She had an Instagram post asking for sponsorship for lashes. No 12-year-old should ask for sponsorship for lashes. I want a petition. It should be banned. We watched the last 3 episodes just to finish it up. And, Maxwell and Livy wound up staying together. Tall girl, short boy, they're still together. Jamie and Paris
and
apparently
is
still...
really so tiny. I mean, they showed
really
her
is.
next to, like, Jack and Emily. She's, like, their size.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. Could, I still say Seb. What happened to Seb? Seb was looking for a partner.
He was like a one-hit wonder. He was only on for that one time.
But yes, she is quite tiny, and I don't think that she's going to grow to the extent that would be necessary. Mm-hmm. So those will they stay together dramas came to nothing, and then out of the blue, out of nowhere, just like Jamie and Mia, suddenly Max and Olivia, no more.
The end.
They did at least do some very unconvincing interviews with them where they were just, Max said she broke it up, and she said, I don't even know what she said, but something very coached. And then the parents were like, Max's parents were extremely diplomatic. And
tellingly, they were the only parents that discussed it.
I think Olivia's parents also said.
Oh, you're right.
I thought they said she wasn't being pushed enough or something like that.
Yeah.
But, it's one of these things where there's more of a story.
Oh, yeah.
There's more to this. And gosh, documentarians, you'd think you might want to dig into it, but no. So I had kind of been spoiled for a little bit because I looked up Olivia's Instagram page, and she's had at least 1 and possibly 2 partners since then.
I think just 1.
I think there was 1 for a short while, and then there was Maxim now. So apparently guys' name with X's in their name are important for her. Mm-hmm. But I think she's still dancing, and good for her. Her hair is very long, and she is very adorable. Mm-hmm. But not quite as cute as she was when she was a little pixie.
Yes.
But I think if we need a theory as to what could possibly have broken Max and Olivia up at a time when they were talking about we want to win all the things, we want to go to all the contests and win all the things, I think we can pin it on Max's hair, don't you?
Yeah.
I think she said,
hocus pocus, what is going on?
Your hair was always weird, but now it's taken on a new dimension, and I just can't.
I can't. I agree.
We feel you, Olivia. I think you made the right choice.
I don't know if the timing was this way in real life, but on the show, they showed them breaking up right before Blackpool, like this big competition.
Right.
I don't understand why they wouldn't have just done that one more.
Right. Yeah, because they were talking about how much they wanted to win it. And then they just decided not to do it at all. And also, it was like a divorce where you can no longer see your mutual friends anymore. They were gone from the show. That was it. Didn't go back to Zigzag, apparently. Neither one of them. They didn't go to the big holiday party. They were just... And we never saw them again. So that was kind of sad because I enjoyed them. Mm-hmm. I also have to once again protest. It's too late because they're not making these anymore, but I do not approve of storylines in which you see Jack flitting around in the background, but we're supposed to forget we know him and root for other people. This is not right. They're making a big thing. It's Arjun and it's Arlola. Which ones will win? And I'm like, Jack is right there. What are you doing?
However, when Arjun did win, Arjun and Izzy did win, Jack was thrilled. And Emily he jumped
also.
Up and down, and it was super cute. So even adorable. Though it was in the background, it was very sweet.
Yes, I would have liked to have been in the foreground because it was adorable. But yes, we catch the glimpses. And yes, Emily and Jack were both thrilled for them. And it was so fun.
Yeah.
And Izzy is delightful. She's her reactions and stuff are so cute. And Arjun is just adorable and a very good dancer. And if they lose him to cricket, it will be a sad day.
Yes. They really made that a major plot point. What will he choose for dress-up day at school? Dancing or cricket or businessman?
They're talking like if he chooses something else, that's it. No more dancing. It's like, it's just career day at the school, right? It's not like they're shipping him off to cricket school after this.
He's in like first grade. I mean, no one's asking him to make a lifelong commitment right now.
Whatever costume you pick this day, man, that's it for the rest of your life.
Yep.
So pick carefully. I gotta think the mother's looking at him in the cricket outfit and going, do you know how much money I'm spending on dance lessons?
Right.
But she seems cool. She seems to enjoy it. So,
and then they had a Christmas party.
Yes,
That was
the last episode
finale.
once again was a party with beefcake guys from the gym, although this time they didn't get much mention. They were just sort of in the background.
They were just kind of there. Yes.
And there was some whole trumped up competition, which just seemed to be an excuse to put people in stupid costumes.
Well, as we know, Warren is the most extra of anyone. He's like, I need a snow machine. I need live reindeer. I need people dressed up like Christmas crackers.
Well, I particularly in that last episode just sort of fell a little bit for Thor, who had always seemed sort of icy to me before, and just the one girl's dance partner and not romantic interest, I think. But in this episode, he kind of had a son-in-law vibe, you know?
Oh, yes,
like,
definitely.
Your father-in-law he's just extra and you just got to roll with it. And he's just sort of like, you know, he's got his baseball cap and his stubble. So it was sort of hard to recognize that he was the same guy from the dance floor. But he was just, okay, we're moving the tables an inch. And Carol, who was the partner of the other dancing triplet, was there also kind of shrugging. It's like, what are you going to do? And then the triplet who's been abused throughout, the non-dancing triplet, actually wanted to do a dance for her dad, which was very sweet and leads me to believe that all the awkwardness is trumped up.
Yeah.
Because I noticed that one of the sisters went and sat with the dad and looked really happy that she was doing it. And so they did the dance, and you know, Savannah was dancing with her boyfriend, who is also not a dancer, and they did a little cute excerpt on that of them getting ready to do it. And, you know, Thor was saying, look at that guy. He can't dance to save his life, but he's out there doing it. And I thought, there is such fellow feeling amongst these three dudes to be in this very weird family. I want a sitcom with the three of them. That could be the next extension. Please. You know, you're living with your dance partner's family and you have to put up with all of this stuff, even though you're not really related, but you're just, this is just the way it is. You just got to do this stuff. And then the third guy is not a dancer at all because he's the boyfriend of the sister who's not a dancer at all, but he still has to deal with this family stuff. I think it could be delightful.
I love it. I want to see it.
Yeah, the moment I saw, they were watching the fireworks, and I think Jack was on his dad's shoulders and Emily was on Thor's shoulders, and I thought, Thor, you are a softie all along. We never knew.
3 sizes that day.
It is the most adorable thing I've ever seen. So make it so, Netflix. Find those guys. I don't know if they're still dancing with those triplets, but I think you got something there.
Mm-hmm.
That made me happy.
I love it.
Well, goodbye, baby ballroomers. We will look you up at our own risk.
On Instagram.
Both of the Mias are on Instagram, and it's every bit as traumatic as you might expect.
Yes.
They did not go backwards on the makeup thing. They went full speed ahead.
But Mia and Andre are still together. That's impressive.
Mia and Andre appear to be still together, yes. And I think
as dance partners. I don't know if they're...
I look at the pictures of them as dance partners, and she looks about 30, and he still looks like a kid to me. Mm. And I went to look at their Instagram pages, and her Instagram page is all selfies of her looking all made up and weird, and his Instagram is private. So I'm like, this is a perfect illustration of the fact that maturity and fame-wise, they are in two different worlds, though they dance together.
Right.
Andre, keep it private, man. I support you. Adorable. Anyway, good luck to them all.
Yeah.
But especially Jack. Well, so now that we are bereft of our 2 reality show watches and things that we may want to watch again have not started yet, and we're just not, the holiday season is not the time to start a new season of Veronica Mars. So next week, we are not going to do a round 2 at all. We're going to have a special week of speed round fun for you. And then the week after, on January 5th, we are going to talk about a new show on Netflix called Bridgerton. We are not clear right now how many episodes are going to drop in time for us to talk about them, but we will watch as much as we can or as much as we want to, depending. That will be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and our opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Goodbye, Catherine.
Bye, Terry.
Goodbye, everybody.